Congressman, the GOP's got to do some soul searching ahead of 2024. House Speaker Newt Gingrich, I thought he summarized the situation well, claiming that Republicans are focused on campaigns, Democrats are focused on elections. The difference is profound. Republicans must change. What do you make of that?
Well, it's a very, very interesting statement by Newt. I have a lot of respect for Newt. You know, he's got great political wisdom. So I think, you know, there's a lot of truth in that. Yeah, I'm very disappointed in the outcome, obviously. But you know, it is what it is. It just goes to show you the importance of the Republican majority in the House. You know, we are going to be the last line of defense against the big government socialism of the Biden administration and their march toward Green New Deal policies.
Yeah, so Brian Kemp had no issue winning his race in your state, defeating Stacey Abrams by 300,000 votes. But then, you know, we're talking about Herschel Walker's loss. What do you make of that? And do you think that this makes Georgia a purple state?
No, I don't think Georgia is a purple state at all. You know, I'm very, very proud of my district, the 9th district, that led the way in voting Republican. But I think what you see is a tremendous amount of money poured into the state. And when the Democrats cannot win on policy, because this campaign, there wasn't a lot about policy on it. It was about character assassination. And the Democrats were successful in that avenue right there. And I think that was the big change in Georgia, was character assassination of our great conservative candidate, Herschel Walker.
Yeah, it wasn't and this just put sort of a final exclamation point on what was not a great midterm cycle for the GOP after all of these polls. And you were on with us before the midterms, and we were talking about how, you know, maybe not a red tsunami, but it looked like at one point we had guests saying that the Senate could be 54, maybe 55 in the Republicans' favor. I do think it will shift in 2024. A lot more vulnerable Democrats in the Senate, at least, are on the ballot in 24. But between now and then, as a party, what do you need to do to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Well, you're certainly right about the Senate in 2024. The numbers are on our side for the more Democrats that are up for re-election as opposed to Republicans. But we in the House need to stay unified against the Biden administration and fight for conservative values. You know, when we show the people that we will hold the line on conservative values, we win. And I think the economy will be better for it. The American people will be better for it. And I think that puts us on the right track to success in 2024. Especially in the Senate, because we need the Senate.
Yeah, absolutely. Sir, I want to pivot now to the border. The news of a Border Patrol agent dying, just a father of two. We've reported how 14 Border Patrol agents have committed suicide. President Biden in Arizona, but didn't go to the border. Politico has an article that says GOP senators tune out House impeachment calls. So obviously, you know, some want to impeach Mayorkas. What do you think this means that GOP senators are basically tuning out this message as we talk about the border crisis?
Well, I'll tell you that the border crisis is a 100% a self-inflicted wound by the Biden administration. I think he's fully responsible for all the lawlessness at the border, and that means the drugs, the thousands upon thousands of pounds of fentanyl coming in, the 100,000 plus American citizens that have died because of drug overdoses. You know, this is all a self-inflicted wound by the Biden administration, and he is 100% accountable for it. And the murders, the suicides, the depression, it is completely mismanaged, and, you know, a complete failure of leadership by President Biden. It's inexcusable, it's unacceptable, which is why we certainly need a change. Mayorkas definitely needs to be impeached. I told him that myself.
Does that happen in January, sir?
Does it happen in January? Well, I sure hope so. You know, I certainly would be happy to lead the way.
A sign of things to come, and I saw this as a positive sign, but there was some reporting yesterday that indicated that Congress will rescind the COVID-19 vaccine mandate for military service members, possibly as part of the Defense Authorization Act, which I believe could be voted on as early as tomorrow. That could be delayed. Is that something that House Republicans are working with House Democrats on right now?
Well, I'll tell you, the National Defense Authorization Act, in that bill, you do have a vaccine mandate revocation. But the problem is it only goes half the way. There needs to be a restoration of those service members who have been ejected from the military because of the vaccine mandate. It has done tremendous damage to our recruiting, to our morale, to our fighting forces, to our readiness. And so those members, the easiest way to get that readiness back is to bring back the already trained members that the vaccine mandate, threw out of the service. And this NDA does not do that. So it doesn't go as far as it should go.
Yeah.